What if I told you that the very foundation of life on Earth hinges on a massive ball of fire, burning 93 million miles away? What happens to our planet if that radiant sun suddenly snuffed out? The idea may seem far-fetched, but can you imagine a world where the sun is nothing but a distant memory? You might be wondering about the consequences. How long can we survive without its life-giving light? Stick around, because this exploration of whether Earth could truly survive without the sun will not just open your eyes to astonishing facts but challenge everything you thought you knew about life and existence. The sun is an incredible powerhouse. It provides light, warmth, and energy to our planet and influences our weather systems, ocean currents, and much more. Without it, Earth would be unrecognizable. But let's dive into this hypothetical scenario. What if, one day, the sun simply vanished? Are we equipped to survive that catastrophic event? First, let's consider the immediate aftermath. If the sun were to disappear, the Earth wouldn't notice it at first, at least not directly. Light from the sun travels at 186,282 miles per second, so it would take about 8 minutes for that last beam of sunlight to reach us. For those fleeting moments after the sun's disappearance, life would blink on unaware, but the reality would hit hard just after the 8-minute mark. Suddenly, darkness would envelop the day, leading to panicked whispers and stunned expressions. You might think, what is going on? But hold your breath, because this is just the tip of the iceberg. As the minutes tick by, the temperature would start to drop significantly, a catastrophic measurement that takes us into a realm of chilling realism. In mere hours, temperatures would plummet to near zero. Within a week, most plants would begin to wither and die in this absence of sunlight. Here's a shocking revelation: plants rely on the sun for photosynthesis, the process by which they convert sunlight into energy. Without this, the world's food chain would start to collapse, and you can imagine the chaos that follows. But let's pause for a moment to grasp the enormity of what this means. The sun is not just a bright orb in the sky, it's what keeps our ecosystems in balance. What comes next will leave you speechless. Some scientists estimate that if the sun vanished, we'd have only a few weeks of viable life left. The oceans would freeze over, and life as we know it would plummet into a deep, unending winter. Now, just think about it. How would humans navigate this new, dark reality? Could we find a way to adapt? Interestingly enough, Earth's core generates heat, and while the surface temperature would fall dramatically, it's theoretically possible that life could find refuge deep underground. So what would that look like? You might be surprised to learn that life could potentially survive in geothermal hotspots, where heat from the Earth would still sustain microbial life forms. However, let's not kid ourselves. Underground survival is a far cry from the colorful trees and vibrant flora we've come to take for granted. Life would become a struggle for existence in these subterranean caverns. But wait, the intrigue doesn't end there. Here's something you didn't expect. Even if some life forms could endure the chilling conditions deep beneath the surface, our atmosphere would also undergo drastic changes. Without the sun's warmth and radiation, our atmosphere would begin to freeze, resulting in a cascade of disasters such as the loss of breathable air and the destabilization of weather patterns. What would happen to our oceans, you may ask? With no sunlight to sustain marine ecosystems, the very foundation of the food web would crumble, decimating fish populations and aquatic life. Yet, you might be curious, are there any alternatives? Could humanity find a way to leverage technology to survive in such an apocalyptic scenario? In this dark narrative, while we face the dire reality of a sunless world, researchers have theorized how humans could utilize geothermal energy, an abundant resource that arises from the Earth's own interior. With creativity and innovation, we could set up geothermal power stations to harness energy deep within the Earth, but survival still values the quality of life over mere survival. As fascinating as that sounds, the question persists: how far could humanity truly go relying only on this energy source? Would we ever find ways to grow food, venture into the lightless abyss, or recreate environments that mimic our previous existence? What could the human spirit conjure amid despair and darkness? There's an ongoing debate among scientists and futurists exploring the limits of human ingenuity in the face of life-altering change. Yet, while this idea sizzles with intrigue, the horrifying truth remains. A world without the sun is one plunged into chaos, reality deprivation, mass migrations underground, and the unthinkable halt of civilization as we know it. How far would humanity be willing to go? You might even wonder, is it worth it to cling to life in such situations? Or would we, ultimately, lose that will if we couldn't rekindle the warmth of sunlight on our skin? But let's not forget that, in this day and age, we are a species empowered by technology. Despite the overwhelming challenges, imaginations would run wild with possible solutions. One hypothetical vision is the establishment of sustainable, artificial sunlight systems to cultivate crops in dome-like structures underground, allowing life to fighting its way back even in the darkest of times. However, this scenario demands that we push the boundaries of our resources, challenging our understanding of resilience and innovation. Let's pause again to consider, do you believe we would rally together as a species, pooling knowledge and resources for survival? Would this be a moment for humanity to shine, finding camaraderie in adversity? Or would fear take hold, driving us into a frenzy? As we ponder these questions, it's essential to recognize just how intertwined our survival is with our relationships, our bond with nature, and our designs on technological advancement. Now, let's delve into a different angle. What about the long-term repercussions? If we were to somehow scrape through the initial catastrophe, how would the absence of the sun alter Earth's very essence in the long term? Over decades, and eventually centuries, the Earth would become a frozen wasteland uninhabitable by most known life forms. Without the sun shining down on the surface, the once thriving ecosystems would fall silent. The soothing rustle of leaves and the melodic chorus of birds would fade into a distant memory. But think about the paradox of this bleak future. Could, perhaps, life adapt to this chilling void? Some scientists speculate that life could eventually re-evolve into forms capable of surviving in these harsh living conditions. Microbial life might take on entirely new adaptations, allowing them to thrive in an inhospitable environment. This brings a shocking fact to light. Extremophiles, organisms that thrive in extreme conditions, demonstrate just how resilient life can be, even in the darkest corners. So, would it be possible, in some far-off future, for Earth to host a different kind of life, a life stripped of sunlight but filled with wonder and mystery? And here lies a tantalizing thought. Earth could become home to bioluminescent organisms, glowing specters roaming in the dark, creating a surreal landscape. Just imagine phosphorescent oceans and shimmering caverns teeming with life, a potential rebirth in a sunless world. The questions don't stop there. Would humanity eventually evolve alongside these alien forms of life, forging a new existence in a bizarrely vibrant yet dark reality? What if we could tap into this bioluminescence, creating engineered systems to illuminate our darkened life underground? With every new twist, the narrative takes unexpected turns, leaving us on the edge of our seats, wondering just how crafty humanity could become. As we peel back the layers of what Earth might look like without the sun, it's worth contemplating how this metaphor relates to our current lives. When we face adversity, whether personal or collective, we're often pushed to innovate, collaborate, and overcome obstacles. Just like a world without the sun would force us to reevaluate our relationship with space and resources, each challenge we encounter could compel us to reflect on our values, principles, and aspirations on this vibrant planet we call home. But there's more to consider. What would happen if we took the sun for granted? How often do we step outside, feeling that warmth on our skin, and forget about the beauty and life behind that radiant star? Would humanity, living in the shadows, come to understand the significance of the sun in ways we never imagined? Would the absence of this cosmic orb ignite a yearning within us, a reminder of values tied deeply to our relationship with the universe? With every passing thought, the mystery of life itself unfolds before our eyes. Stay tuned as we shift gears and explore the scientific community's predictions regarding the long-term effects of a sunless Earth, some revolutionary ideas that throw conventional thoughts for a loop, and a contemplative dive into the very definitions of existence. In the world beyond the sun, there exists a rich tapestry of questions, wonder, and potential. Join me as we navigate through this unconventional reality, where darkness reigns, but the human spirit, perhaps like those antibodies we spoke of earlier, seeks a way to endure. How far would we go to retain our humanity and the spirit of life? Stay with me as we work through the horror, intrigue, and transformative possibilities. We'll unlock deeper insights into survival, adaptation, and the essence of life itself. What you discover next may just redefine your understanding of not just our planet, but everything we hold dear. Look up, and remember how illuminating the sun feels. Are you ready for the next part? Stay tuned for the revelations yet to come. As we embark on the next phase of our exploration, let's pull back the curtain on what the scientific community predicts regarding a sunless Earth. How do scientists envision the long-term effects of such a cataclysmic event within the confines of our planet's delicate ecosystems? The absence of the sun would not only alter our physical environment but also reshape our very identities and the essence of existence. Consider this: in the absence of sunlight, without a heartbeat pulsing through the solar system, everything we know about seasonal cycles would come to a halt. The intricate dance of temperate zones would be replaced by a global freeze, leading to a permanent winter that would grip the planet, sending life into a relentless battle against the elements. The once thriving forests would become ghostly remains of an era gone by, their roots tethered to an icebound soil that is as unforgiving as it is incomprehensible. How long would it take before the towering urban landscapes, once bustling with life, succumb to nature's reclaiming hand? Within a few years, major cities would fall silent, as infrastructure collapses without human maintenance. Of course, the survival of humans living underground might stave off complete extinction, but even the holdouts would face an existential dissonance as they navigate a world transformed beyond recognition. Individuals would need to reconcile their memories of sunlit days with a present where light becomes a rare and painful memory. What is so striking is how these shifts in environmental stability force a re-evaluation of our understanding of adaptation and resilience. The initial waves of despair may drown us, but situational imperatives could hold surprising power. Would humanity unite in its search for a new purpose? Would societies emerge that are not centered on energy consumption or technological advancement but instead find meaning in community and cooperation? Within the subterranean depths, new social bonds could emerge, fostering creativity where despair would otherwise thrive. But let's pivot back to nature's role in this new narrative. In a sunless world, extremophiles, those remarkable microorganisms known for their ability to withstand extreme conditions, would assert their dominance in the biological hierarchy. Environments once deemed hostile could become the cradle of new life forms, leading to possibilities we have yet to explore. Some scientists speculate that over time, complex forms of life could rise anew, evolving from these resilient spores that cling to the darkest cracks of the Earth. In this thought-provoking scenario, could bioluminescent organisms indeed become the new rulers of this twilight realm? Through evolutionary pressures, imagine the gradual development of intricate ecosystems thriving under the glow of creatures that harness light and darkness. From phosphorescent algae to deep-sea creatures that communicate with glimmers, the landscape could transform into a surreal realm of luminous beauty, a stark contrast to the chilling absence of light above. But here's where the paradox deepens. As the subterranean world flourishes, would it engage in a symbiotic relationship with humanity? If we could harness the bioluminescent properties of these life forms, they could shake up our preconceived notions of energy, unearthing alternative routes for sustenance and illumination in an existence where darkness is the norm. Imagine this: underground farms lit by shimmering organisms, allowing crops to grow in an intricate ballet of light and life nurtured by the microbial community surrounding them, eternally underscoring the resilience of both the natural world and the human spirit. Yet, amid these essential discoveries, deeper existential questions arise. What would it mean to be human in a world fundamentally reshaped by the absence of sunlight? Would our perceptions of identity shift? Consider how we define ourselves through our experiences connected to light, the warmth of the sun, the changing hues of day, the morning rays of dawn. What cognitive and emotional transformations would emerge when light is resigned to memory? In the darkest corners of our new lives, what would we hold sacred? Would we grasp even more tightly to what is worth sustaining, our stories, our histories, the collaborations born under the dim glow of electric lights? Delving deeper, as life finds its footing, we cannot ignore the potential scars left by such a monumental change. The psychology of survival itself becomes a gripping subject. How will we cope with loss on a grand scale? Mental health could plunge into an unprecedented crisis, leading to collective grief infused with nostalgia for a world that no longer exists. Would there be a renaissance of artistic expression, allowing humanity to process this loss through creativity? Since time immemorial, art has served as a vessel for emotional expression. Perhaps an absence of light would illuminate an exploration of darkness, birthing new forms of art that narrate our survival and hope amidst despair. As we ponder these pathways, it is more pertinent than ever to consider our legacy as stewards of this planet. The consequences of losing our sun might push us to reflect on our relationship with nature and the universe as a whole. While the specter of extinction may loom large, there remains a sliver of hope echoing through the decay of our former world. The prospect of adaptation can foster environmental awareness, leading to a newfound respect for the living entities that share this illustrious planet. Will we emerge from the abyss as custodians who guard our knowledge fiercely and wield it responsibly, or will history repeat itself as we return to reckless exploitation? Now, this is where the narrative takes yet another twist, as we consider the cosmic implications of a sunless Earth. Our solar system, once brimming with warmth, light, and life, would be irrevocably altered. Other celestial bodies within our solar system, including the planets and moons orbiting distant stars, would reflect a sharp contrast to our sorrow-laden planet. Imagine the spiraling dynamics of Jupiter's moons, with Europa's icy surface harboring life forms that cling to warmth in subterranean oceans. They, untouched by the absence of the sun, may gaze upon a bleak planet, a ghostly image of what was, an echo of a magnificent world that lost its heart. What if one day, explorers from these far-off worlds arrive? Would they find remnants of humanity's ingenuity interspersed among the ruins of our identity? Would they recognize the flickers of brilliance amidst the darkness, tracing our story in artifacts that whisper of our grand designs, our triumphs, and our fall? This line of thought provokes even further reflections on our connections across time and space. Are we merely a fraction of a greater cosmic story, ever yearning for exploration, transcendence, and perhaps, a reunion with the light? At this juncture, we must acknowledge the moral lessons we learn from such dire considerations. As we brace for a reality painted in despair, the exploration of what could be will invariably challenge our perceptions of existence. It drives home the value of the present. Perhaps it is high time we ground ourselves in gratitude for every sunlit moment, for every gentle breeze that whispers through the trees. Life thrives through connection. As we appreciate the beauty enveloping us now, we may even cultivate greater respect for interdependence among life forms across our planet. As we guide the narrative to its conclusion, a powerful truth emerges. The absence of the sun cracks open the door to a profound exploration of humanity's resilience amid the unthinkable. While a world devoid of light presents formidable challenges, it simultaneously dances with endless possibilities for adaptation, reinvention, and communion with nature. Let us carry forward this sense of purpose. As we look upon the sun hanging high in the sky, let it remind us of the light we cultivate within ourselves, an indomitable spirit that thrives even in the darkest hours. The culmination of our exploration reminds us, while isolation may haunt, unity fosters hope. In unison, through the darkness, it is our stories, woven in empathy, innovation, dreams, and shared experiences, that will light our path, guiding us toward a future brimming with unexplored horizons. So here lies an invitation, an embrace of the countless questions emerging from our contemplation. Together, let's follow the intricate threads of cosmic fate and human tenacity, weaving a glorious tapestry of understanding where both struggle and triumph coexist. And as we walk boldly into the morrow, perhaps we will find that humanity's greatest light is not necessarily provided by the sun. Instead, it may emanate from the potential within us all, the capacity to adapt, create, and thrive against every odd. Finally, as the curtain draws on this thought-provoking journey, I urge you to look up. Whether the sun is shining brightly or clouded in shadow, take a moment to embrace its light as we navigate the vast mysteries of existence together, creating moments that matter under the radiance of the cosmos.